wants that flawless glowy base for summer. So let me show you how I got it. Be sure to stay to the end of the video because you guys will see the secret ingredient to your makeup lasting all day. Keep watching to see how to get your makeup to be flawless and glowy and last all day in the summer. So I am just applying some lip balm because hydration is key when you want that really glowy makeup and that really just flawless base. This is honestly one of my favorites. It is by Glowy and it is the Protect Your Pout. Highly recommend. Mine's in vanilla. So hydration, as I said, is key. So your first steps, you really want to make sure you are implementing into your skincare. So I use my toner, my essence, and then I go in with my moisturizer and of course sunscreen. So really lock in that hydration, and as you can see, my skin is very glazed donut-esque at the minute. So this is sort of our base. My roommate got me this really cute little makeup bag for my birthday, so I put some of my products in there. The first step in any makeup routine to have that good base is a primer, and you best believe that I wouldn't have said that a while ago until I met Miss Rufai. So I absolutely love this primer and I actually really need to get some more because she's running out. But if you guys have not tried this primer, I really do think that this has a huge impact on my base. For that flawless glowy look, this primer is honestly where it's at, and I make sure I go under my eyes as well to make sure it's all hydrated under there, and of course the forehead. I put slightly less in there because my forehead tends to get a little bit oily. I make sure I really get under my eyes and on my cheeks and down here. If you have any blemishes, like I have a few here, make sure they are also hydrated because you want that hydration. When the skin is hydrated, the products just sit that a little bit better, and that's when you get that really airbrush, just amazing look. So the next step in my flawless and glowy base routine is this product right here. This is the L'Oreal Glotion. This is the one in 903. I'm using this because we are transitioning over into the summer, but you can use whichever one works best for your skin tone. But either way, I'd highly recommend the Glotions. I think implementing these into my routine has made a huge difference to my base, and I would really recommend it. So I'm just applying this over the top. As you can see, it gives me a little bit of a bronze, which is what we need in the summer. I'm gonna do my brows and let this sit off camera, and then I will come back to you guys. I am wearing my heels for graduation at the minute, and my feet are low-key kind of killing me, but I need to get used to them. I'm not a heels girl, I'm really not. I wish I was, but I'm not. And I bought a really lovely pair of shoes from Charles & Keith, which you guys will see in my graduation day Get Ready With Me. And I've been wearing them in, but my feet already kind of hurt, and I've only had them on for like 30 minutes. So it's going well. But next, now that my brows are done, I'm going in with the next professional Bear With Me concealer serum. And I have to say, I really like this. I was very pleasantly surprised, and it's now become a staple, and I've got mine in the shade Light. So I just put some on the back of my hand, and I go in with my sponge, and I just apply this under my eyes because I need a fair amount of coverage under my eyes and by the corner of my nose because I get very red all around here. So I tend to pop a bit more coverage around those areas, and that's why I start with this concealer to really just start building up that coverage in certain areas. And then I do like to go over my eyes a little bit with it. I will be coming back to the brows in a minute. Then I pop it on any spots that need concealing. I do use a sponge first, and then I go back in with a brush. You can use any brush, I'm just using this one, and I'm just gonna pop it on the spots that need most coverage. And then if there's any other areas, like I have a few scars on this cheek that I should cover, I pat it in with the brush to sort of help with coverage. Next, we are going in with the product I have been obsessed with using on my base at the minute, and this is the Sculpted by Amy Second Skin Medium Coverage Dewy Finish Foundation. Now, this is the product that I've been using for that flawless base. Now, I have a few new brushes that I got for my birthday. I have got a shorts video coming soon of me using these brushes and trying them out for the first time, but this is just the Makeup by L'Oreal foundation brush, and I'm just going in with that product and starting to blend it into my skin. Now, I use a brush at first and then I go back in with a sponge because I find that just works best for me. But this is the best base that I have used in a while. I just love how it's so dewy and such a buildable coverage, but you can also apply a really light amount and it still just gives you the perfect coverage. One of the things that I do sometimes struggle with base products is that I want a bit more coverage, but I don't want that heaviness on my skin, especially in the summer. And I feel like Sculpted by Amy has really perfected that in that formula. It is really lightweight on the skin, but it also gives you that coverage that you need. As you can see, the glow and shine you get, unmatched. Next, I'm going in with my sponge and I am just blending away. I like to go in with my sponge. This is from the L'Oreal Times Morphe collection as well, just to really make sure everything is blended smoothly and it kind of just gives you that airbrush finish. Move on to contour. So the contour that I've been using at the minute is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand contour, and this is in the lightest shade, which is Fair Light. It's a really cool shade which is perfect for contouring and it works really well on pale skin tones. Me and my cousin both use it and she is a lot fairer than I am. I say a lot, she's not a lot fairer than me, but she is fairer because she also has Irish genes. I'm going to go in with my brush. This is another L'Oreal brush and it is the sculpted brush that you can use to blend in your contour, your bronzer, or even just your blush. I use this for both my contour and bronzer if I'm honest, and it just works perfectly for those cream products. And I always try to blend up to give the most sculpting effect. Now, as you can probably tell, when you go in with contour and blush, it kind of dislodges the product sometimes when you are concealing spots or parts of your skin that you want a bit more coverage in. Sometimes when you're blending in other products, it can diffuse it a little bit. So we'll go back in with some concealer at the very end. So now we are all contoured. I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Bright Side Stick. I think they call this their bronzing stick. Yeah, their bronzer stick. Again, it is a cooler shade than you see, but it still gives you that little bit of warmth, which is what we sort of are lacking at the minute. Our skin is a little bit cool, so we want to add a little bit more warmth into the face, but we don't want it to be too orangey, which I do find, particularly in the winter, some bronzing contour sticks can just be a little bit too orangey for me. And then we blend that in and just add a little bit more warmth to the face. Next, we're going on to highlight and blush, which are some of our cult favorites. I absolutely love these two and you will have seen me use them a lot in videos. This is the Hollywood Beauty Light Wand from Charlotte Tilbury in Spotlight, and I just apply that to my nose, Cupid's bow, a bit on my chin, and then of course the high point of my cheekbone. And then I'm also going in with one of my favorite Rare blushes today. This is the Rare Beauty Hope. These are some of my favorite blushes. I also have one from Pixie that I love and a few others, but this is just the one that I've been using at the moment. I was using my Pixie one a lot, but the weather in the UK has really changed and it's gotten a lot colder. So I brought back out Hope because The pixie one to me just screams sunny, happy weather, and at the minute we are not having that at all. So I'm bringing back a slightly more muted blush just to sort of reflect the weather a little bit. I kind of do that with my blushes. I like to wear shades that are kind of seasonal. Going in with my sponge and just diffusing out the highlighter and the blush a little bit further. And going in with some more concealer. This is from House Labs and it is their 04 Fair Neutral concealer. I absolutely love this concealer. I've raved about this before, and I just like to apply that into the inner corners of my eye and just around my mouth to sort of give us a little bit more brightness. I like to apply a tiny bit under my cheekbones as well, and a little bit in between my brows, just to add a little bit more definition and brightness back to the face, because I do find that sometimes that the other products kind of blend in a little bit and take away from that brightness under the eyes. And I'm just blending that again with the sponge. I am going to use a tiny bit of this on my lids as well. And I'm going to go in with another Ariel brush. This dual-ended one, I absolutely love this. To carve out the brows, and I am just applying that over and under the eyebrows just to help carve them out and make them a bit more defined. And then again, I'm going in with my trusty sponge and I'm just blending over everything we've got. I'm going to add a little bit more blush because she's diffused a little bit more than I would like her to. I'm just going to add a bit more to the cheeks. I'm going with that same brush, but I'm holding it a little bit closer to the top so it's a little bit denser and more controlled. So I'm really just applying it to the areas I want it. And then I will dab a tiny bit on the nose. Now we have got all our cream products in place. The next step is of course powder. So I've gone back to my Huda Beauty powder because as much as I love that Maybelline one, we are getting to more humid, hotter weather. Even though it's kind of colder at the minute and rainy, there still is a humidity in the air in England. So I brought back this powder to sort of combat that. And I'm also going to go in with a little bit more of my concealer from NYX and just go over those spots before I powder them down. So what I like to do is just go in with the brush, pat over them and then sort of leave them for a moment. And while they're kind of sitting, I will just powder under my eyes because they are getting quite shiny and we need a little bit of mateness under there. And then also I'm going under my nose and on top of my lip, and then into the other eye. The chin, of course, and then my forehead is in dire need of some powder. It is very shiny at the minute. Don't get me wrong, I love a glowy makeup look, but my skin does get oily, so we also need some powder to combat that. Now I'm going in with my brush on the spot and I'm just patting around it, and then I'm going straight in with that powder. And then any excess I will just drag under my cheekbones to give a little bit more definition. Now going in with my powdered bronzer, which is this L'Oreal one. It's their Bronze to Paradise. I absolutely love this and I incorporated it into my routine a few months ago and I've been obsessed with it since. So I'm just going in with that to bronze the face. I really love this brush from L'Oreal as well. I have to say I'm really loving using the brushes and they've become staples in my collection. And you guys will see the first impression of me using them very soon. Next I'm going in with a newer product. This is the Wet n Wild Mellow Wine Blush. And I actually really like the shade. I think it's great. So I'm just going in with the Ariel brush and just applying some blush to the cheeks. Now I have to say I think this colour pairs really nicely with that Rare Beauty blush. in Hope. I just think they have a very similar undertone, similar to my Sephora one. It actually goes really well. And then I put a tiny bit on the cheek and forehead as well. I'm just going to go in with that sponge and make sure that's blended out and diffused. Glowy Butter Goodie. This is Max Soft and Gentle, and I'm just going to take the tiny bit of that on my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and then of course on the high point of my cheekbone. I just find that only applying it to the very top and then blending over with a sponge gives you the best look. So now we have officially finished the base. I'm gonna continue with the eyes and the lips and then come back to you guys. So lips and eyes are all done, and now it's time to add the final touches. So of course I'm going in with a little bit more powder because we need to make sure we are matte enough under those eyes. Of course on the forehead. We have of course one last step. The best step of all, setting spray. So this is going to keep your makeup on all day. It is going to stay in place and you're just going to have that amazing flawless glowy look. This is the secret ingredient. So let's spray some of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So if you want that fresh glowy base for summer, then this is the look. Is the finished look. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out my channel. I've got a few more makeup videos on there, and I've got a few more lifestyle and fashion content as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.